Welcome, 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 everyone. I'm here with Xann Schwinn, and Xann is she's a choral director at her start of her music career and is now moving into using technology to help people to find singing as a resource for health and well-being. And I'm really excited Xann is coming on our summit this year. Yay!
Thanks, Aideen. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great day.
It will be a really great day. What drew you to deciding to become a part of the summit this year?
Well, aside from the fact that you and I talk about singing and the voice and confidence in your voice in all of the same ways, it's an intrinsic part of the human experience. Obviously, just from a content perspective, it makes sense. You and I could talk all day about this, let alone with, the 20 other people who are participating as speakers for the day. But obviously the title of the day being Find Your Voice, Change Your Life. Actually, when I pitch the business and when I talk about the business, I always end with let Biiah help you find the power in your voice. And so I think that there's a really nice alignment with the movement that, we're trying to build, both you and I in the subject matter and everybody else who's participating in the day, but really in my own personal mission for how I want to help people, because I think that everybody deserves to have access to this intrinsic part of the human experience, and that everyone deserves to have access to the power that their own unique voice holds. So it just feels like the perfect thing, honestly.
And I love that, but saying that, the power that your unique voice holds, that is the key to it all. That's why I say to people, your voice has value. Each person's voice has value. And we can work with our voices in so many different ways. I think the summit's going to be such a tapestry of so many different approaches to, healing through the voice or healing through songwriting and, using the voice. But I know your mission is really to make singing very accessible, because not everybody wants to take a singing lesson and not everybody wants to trawl through YouTube trying to figure out which is the best warm-up for me. And choirs can be quite intimidating as well if you haven't done that before, or auditioning for something like a musical can be terrifying. So tell us a little bit about what it is you're proposing and what you're going to be offering people through your work in technology and bringing singing to people.
Well, really what we're trying to do is break down any barriers that somebody might have to start using their voice, because at the end of the day, again, singing is an intrinsic part of the human experience. It's how, our caregivers connect to us when we're children. It's how children connect to other children, kumbaya moments, singing in church, singing the national anthem, singing at sports games. I mean, you can kind of go on and on and on. And so it's the first start is just, what are the various ways in which we can help people start to feel like they should sing, because it is just a tool that we all have in our toolkit. And so our work is really around just getting people to build up the daily practice of singing, whatever that looks like. So if that's singing in the car, if that's learning a warm up, great. But actually it's just feeling like I don't have to sound like a thing. I don't have to sound like this person or this. The definition of what good singing sounds like is so arbitrary based on what A&R people feel like today, what media people feel like today. Famous singers, they train hours and hours and hours every single day. And so it's not comparable. And really the baseline of what singing is a communication tool. I find that singing is the most powerful way to express a common emotion with others. And oftentimes singing enables us to express how we're really feeling where words convolute. And so what our app looks like, what our virtual programs look like, is just getting you comfortable just using your voice. So there's no greater ask other than, and you can be sat on mute, nobody has to be listening to you, but just the engagement of your voice, and just through hearing your own voice in whatever context you're in, over time, you will become comfortable with your own sound. And so we're just trying to help people break down those barriers of why they don't sing so they can start singing, because at the end of the day, singing is good for you. It helps to regulate heartbeat. It decreases anxiety and stress in the body. It improves mood. It increases dopamine and serotonin and cortisol and all of these things that our body needs to feel good. And it's been linked with slowing the progression of neurodegenerative disease. I mean, you name it, singing helps. And so we are using the health as sort of a catalyst for why you should engage. If that barrier is, I don't like the sound of my voice, well, you should do it because it's good for you. And my hypothesis is that if you just continue to sing every day, that feeling of I can't sing, whatever that means to you, will start to disappear.
Yes, I love that, because like that, if you hear someone humming a tune, in a bus, or when we're happy, sometimes songs pop into our minds. And a lot of people who say, oh, I don't sing, or I'm not a singer, they actually are singing. If you followed them around for the day, you would find there's some of them are actually singing. And then there are people who through whatever upbringing or whatever emotional upheaval sometimes as well can stop people from their voice can literally clamp up. So taking small steps where you don't feel judged, where you're in an environment like that online or virtually, where you're on mute but you can participate, it's an amazing access point for people to start with.
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about your presentation and what you're offering during the summit.
Sure. So I think, so we're starting the day, obviously, with our session around
just keeping it accessible for people, and
how to access the benefits of singing. So pretty much everything that we just talked about. What are the ways in which you can start to, what are all of the benefits? We listed some a second ago, but how can you start to access the benefits? Again, I suppose what I just said is pretty much a snapshot of the longer version of the session that will come. But hopefully a little bit more of an interactive experience for us to kind of work through with some of the people in the audience about how they might access benefits, talking about some of the barriers and how we might overcome those in the session.
Perfect.
So,
one thing about this summit that some people may not realize is that it's quite an interactive thing. So, Xann and I we're co-presenting the hour that we're in, and she's doing her presentation. I'm doing mine, which mine is more on the problem solving and brain aspect of the benefits of singing. And then we're going into conversation where the people who are attending can also interact, ask questions. There may be a breakout room. So this is going to be a really unique summit. Each hour, 2 new presenters are coming on, and they are leading that and bringing the attendees into it in their conversation in the second half of that hour. So I'm really excited to see what comes of it, because I feel like it could be organically kind of something interesting can come through in conversation together. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. Please do come along. If you're listening to this video, please do come along. It's going to be a good day.
Come and join and register. It's free to join the summit. And we do have a VIP option which gives you access to the recordings afterwards and gifts. And I know your gift, Xann, is access to a weekly
virtual program.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a virtual program that we host online. It's basically just like a come sing on Zoom, where it sounds so simple, but honestly, they're so fun, where we sing, we learn a song together, we do some warming up. There are lots of people from all over the world that attend every week. And so we are going to be giving access for the year to the VIPs for the day, access to the virtual community. And so there are lots of other benefits to being part of the virtual community, lots of daily warm-ups that you can do and other things that you can access through our portal. But those virtual community events are really something. It's just if you're unsure of where to start, these sessions are really a great place, because you're completely on mute. You can see lots of other people. You can have your video off if you really want to start in a super incognito mode. But I've found that they're a great starting point for people who are really at that first step of their journey.
I think that's an amazing gift. Yeah, that's just, well, that's worth the money anyway, for sure. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Xann, for meeting me today and sharing this amazing vision. I'm so proud of everything you're doing. It's really global how you're working, and I know that you're going to be a huge success at this. It's going to reach so many people. I'm really honored that you've decided to be a part of the summit, and you're an inspiration to me. So keep up your great work. And thank you everyone for watching.
Thanks, Aideen. See everyone at the day. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.